After spending more than a year studying in France, I wanted to make a video to share my experience on what it has been like. Hello everyone, if you're new here, welcome to my channel, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for subscribing. I hope this video is going to be so helpful to you. Without further ado, let's get started. Over this 1 year, I've gotten some questions from people who want to study in France and they're not sure about mostly French, because sometimes they don't speak French and they don't know if that will be a problem or not. So that's the first question that I'm going to be answering. When I first came to France, I didn't speak perfect French. I only had experience learning French in classes, and I also learned on my own using Duolingo. I knew a lot of vocabulary, I knew a lot of basics, but when I came here it's totally different because everybody talks at a pace that is normal to them but fast for someone who doesn't understand French. So at first I was using a lot of Google Translate to have conversations with people that don't speak English at all. And yes, majority of people do speak English most of the time. Sometimes they think they don't speak English, or they would say they don't speak English, but they do, but maybe they just feel more comfortable speaking French. But for the beginning, when I first came, I didn't understand most of the French, apart from one worker in a supermarket. I don't know why I understood him, but he didn't speak English and I understood the French. But yeah, with time, even if you don't understand French now, if you continue to learn, I also suggest that you learn, if you're using Duolingo, maybe also not use Duolingo alone. You can listen to French podcasts, you can watch French cartoons, I wouldn't say you should watch French movies if you're a beginner, because you won't really understand much of what they say except you use subtitles. But I think a good way to learn is by watching vlogs. There are some particular French vloggers that you can find on YouTube that speak in slow French, and they put subtitles in either French or English. So if you don't know a word, you can Google it and learn. So I think that's what really helped me improve in my French. When I came, I think I was an A2, because I already had basic knowledge of French. I was studying French all the years before in school, but it's not the same as actually speaking, and also I didn't actually speak much in all those classes. So yeah. Also, if you want to learn French, I'm also a French TikToker. I have a TikTok dedicated to making French videos. I'll link it down in the description of this video. So if you want to check out my TikTok, I post new French words that are new to me, and currently I'm B1 plus, B1, B2 level of French. Thank God. So I come across a lot of words that are new to me, and I think as a beginner, if you learn these words, I also post sentences made with these words and their meaning. So if you learn these words as a beginner, it's like you're learning something advanced, which is quite impressive. And I also do French vlogs where I speak in French, but I put the translations in English. So that's another way to learn if you're looking to learn French. But totally, if you don't know French, you can come here. There are many people in this country that speak English. Everyone actually speaks English. That's what I believe. Maybe, okay, no, not everyone speaks English, but majority speak English, and they will definitely be open to assisting you even if they do speak French. I've seen videos of people that like direct people. You just understand, you'll be fine. Come to France. Question 2. What is the French education system like? So for me, I've been in 2 French schools. The first one, the education system was very rigid, but it was also not that bad compared to like where I did my undergraduate schooling. Here in France, they split up your subjects. So you have, here in my school that I went to, they split up your subjects. So like we have different semesters. For each semester you learn a lot of subjects between 3 to 4. So for me, I had 4 semesters and I did 3 to 4 subjects in each of the semesters, and then at the end of the semester I had exams for those courses. So that's basically it, and there was always holidays in each semester. So yeah, the arrangement is actually okay for me because you're not learning so many things at the same time, but it's also very rigid. But it was also not that bad. My schedule was fine. I had classes every day compared to most schools. Oh yes, I'm a master's student, if I didn't mention that already. Normally master's students, they don't have classes every day in other countries, but or maybe even in other schools. But in my schools that I went to, we had classes every day. But some days it's not like the whole day. So like for, let me say, Monday to Friday, I have class from 8:15 to 9:30, and then I have a 15-minute break, and then 9:30 to 11:30, something like that. And then lunch goes from 11:30 to 1:45 or 1:30, and then I have another 1 hour, 30 minutes, and then a break, and then class ends by 5 most of the time. But sometimes the schedules can also change, but it's like not really a lot of free time, but sometimes I did have some more free time during the day. And in my current school, it's also the same thing, more or less. The classes here are shorter. It's like 1 hour, 15 minutes, and then still a 15-minute break, but the classes are longer for throughout the day. Okay, not that throughout the day. Sometimes 4:30, sometimes 6, I'm done. But here it's not like the same with having 2 to 3 classes for a semester, and at the end of the semester I write an exam. Here it's more like I have short form classes, so I can do a class for, it's like all part of a bigger class. Like inside a course, it's like having smaller mini courses that can last for 2 days, 4 days, but it's for the whole day. And then for how the actual grading is done, so for my previous school, I had tests. So during the lesson, the teacher will tell you what kind of test it's going to do, if it's going to do projects, group works, or actual tests. And most of the time, some tests might be open notes, or some, most times it's only 1 test I had that was open notes, or 2 tests. But most times you have normal tests. I had like 2 tests before the exams, and the exam is normally open book exams, which makes it all the more harder. But yeah, so you have to get a score, a combined score of everything out of 20. You have to get greater than 10, like from 10 and above. There are some blocks of, there are some category blocks where some courses fall under, like in a scientific block. Let's say you're doing mass transfer, heat transfer, thermodynamics, all of these form a block. So if in the block you do well in other subjects but you get less than 10 in one, these other subjects can cover the one you do less in. But if you don't do well in all or in most, then you have to take a repeat exam, which is called a rattrapage in French. It's a catch-up exam. So you do the rattrapage, and for some schools, like in my previous school, if you do this catch-up exam, your previous score is cancelled. So if you get lower than what you did initially, that score, your new score stays. The other one is deleted permanently. And then for some schools, like my present school, if you do a repeat exam, you can't get higher than, I think, 8. So yeah, you have to be very serious and study well, so you can always get higher from 10 and above. Now I'm going to talk about accommodation in France. As a student, I stay in a cruise apartment. I always have, because I've moved between schools, between apartments. So I always stay in a cruise apartment. If you don't know what a cruise is, it's a body, it's an organization. They have apartments for students, and they also have food. They also have restaurants for students to eat at a subsidized rate. For the restaurants, the prices that I've seen, I think is different in some areas, but in Paris it's 3.3 euros for students, and then if you're supported by a scholarship, as if you're on Boursier, then it's 1 euro. And in this meal, I think I have a lot of pictures and videos. I'm going to insert one of the videos of how the food is like. You can have a starter, a dessert, and a main meal, and a piece of a very strong baguette that's small size. But I call it baguette because baguettes are normally strong. Let me know if you like baguettes. I actually like baguettes, but when they're in sandwiches, like, I really like baguettes as sandwiches. Anyway, off topic, not to go off topic, let's return to the video. Okay, so that's it for cruise apartments. But if you're a scholarship student, most scholarship students don't know this, you need to pay CIVEC. CIVEC is a contribution to student life something. Currently it's 105 euros, and you just pay it once for the whole year, and sometimes your scholarship may reimburse you, so find out if you don't know. So if you pay the CIVEC, then you get access to Easily, which is the app for doing this student meal. And then if you're still on scholarship, like, it's not automatic, you still have to send a request to an email, which you would find depending on the school or area that you are located in. And then for the cruise apartments, they are normally like 18 meters square. I don't know if they're all 18 meters square. Probably not, but I think this apartment I am is bigger than the other one. I have a whole kitchen, a bedroom that's separate, and then a bathroom. And some of them come with electricity, hot water, and everything together, but some of them you have to pay separately. And the rent varies depending on what you have and what you don't have. But the rent is normally around 380 to 600, I'll just say. About 380 to 500 from like most of them. But you can see anyone that falls outside of this range as well. And also if you have, there's a student allowance that you can apply for, which is called CAF. You can find out more on CAF.fr, CAF.fr in French. Okay, and most of the time these cruise accommodations have student activities, a lot of student activities, which most of the time I don't go for. But if you go, you can meet a lot of people and make friends. Even like, we are currently in fall season, so they are organizing a Halloween movie night in one of the accommodations, and there's also a lot of activities. Once I went for a cooking workshop and it was fun. It's just an avenue to meet people around your accommodation and explore together. There are a lot of places in France to explore. There are a lot of places to travel to. I'm speaking to myself. And yeah, cruise has a lot of activities. They also plan like traveling activities. Guys, that's all for this video because my iPhone storage is full. So please like and subscribe if you aren't subscribed to this video, and I will do a part 2. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.